Last season's ATV National Motocross Championship battle came down to the finale, and it was a rough and tumble affair for many, including the championship contenders Chad Wienen and his old rival Joel Hetrick, who went at it up front. The last round in Ohio offered an opportunity for veterans and newcomers to show what they are made of, but up ahead Hetrick and Wienen pulled away again, while Jeffrey Rastrelli and others had their problems. Hetrick was able to go on and win the moto with ease, but he would need bad luck from Wienen to have any shot at the title in Moto 2, and Wienen helped his odds by grabbing the early lead. With a big jump to the Briar Cliff track, they battled one last time, with Hetrick eventually making the moves. On the high-speed track, the fans braced for a clash between the championship contenders, with Wienen trying to hold the lead, but eventually he would ride smart and yield to Hetrick, who would go on to 1-1 finishes. But it would not be enough to overcome his early season bad luck. And again, the consistency of Chad Wienen would win out for the 8th time the National Motocross Champion. Can he break the record and get an all-time 9th title? 2022 awaits. What a place to kick it off. The 2022 ATV National Motocross Series begins here at Daytona Beach, Florida on the infield of Daytona International Speedway. It is the ATV Supercross for 2022, and the Supercross track wasn't challenging enough. How about Mother Nature? Huge rain, big impact on the racetrack. Run this race in conjunction with the vintage Supercross days for the two-wheeled set, so the track has to be adapted to both types of machines. With the weather coming in and out, kind of typical Florida, you never know when it's going to come back again. It's going to make for a challenging race day. And then add in all the nerves of the season opener and all the riders that expect to step up the game this year. Newcomers like Patrick Torini there coming out of Italy to race the series. Cesar Jimenez on the 101, Nick Janusa, great season last year on the number 15. About this man, Decker, the rookie, Zach Decker out of Zionsville, Pennsylvania, making some noise. Jeffrey Rastrelli's back with a new look on his familiar, though, number 28. We'll see how the veteran out of Florida does. Logan Stanfield there on his number 55. We'll see who can get in the championship mix this year. We know who the standard contenders are, and it starts with our champion, Chad Wienen.
I've been feeling good. Great off season here in Florida with the family, and everybody's healthy and getting along well. I'm just going to try and pick up where I left off and just try to run clean laps here today, and it's going to be difficult in its own way, just with how challenging the track is condition-wise. But we're going to try and do the best we can and just have some fun and come out of here healthy with good points.
Well, healthy and points would be a good order for Joel Hetrick, who has been star-crossed of this Daytona race so many times.
We've been working hard all off-season long, I should say. We stayed at Decker Training Facility. I think I was there for a total of like 90 days, so we put in a lot of testing, a lot of work, and a lot of riding, and I feel really comfortable this year. The bike's working awesome. Impact Solutions got us dialed in with a really good setup, and I feel really good. I feel like I'm in the best shape I've been in for a couple years, so it's I'm pretty confident coming in here. I know what I can do and what I should do, and that's what I come here with a plan and a goal, and I hope I can meet that this weekend.
Well, we're ready to get the riders out of the racetrack for qualifying. We'll see how the mud has affected the Daytona infield in this Supercross track as we get ready for 2022 to begin. Now, in the Supercross format, this is a heat race. We'll have the riders split into two different groups. Chad Wienen immediately off to the races, putting that big number 1 plate out front. And starts are always important in a motocross race, right? But it is at a premium, even more so in a Supercross type format. This track is a lot smaller than the typical motocross track, and passing is definitely tough. So Wienen has a big advantage, and you saw the mud at the beginning of the day. See that standing water on the side of the track? Going to take a lot of roost if you don't get out front early. Now here are the boys battling for the number 2 spot. You got Cesar Jimenez, one of the best starts we've seen from him. Lindquist and Rastrelli right there. Lindquist, one of the up-and-coming stars of the series. Rastrelli used to have that crown back in the day, but now he's considered one of the established veterans, and it's really fun to see them battle. Lindquist having to pull some roll-offs in this mud. Chad is long gone, and look at the how clean his machine is, and look at how big of a lead he has. Well, this battle continues to rage, and Lindquist makes the move to get into second, and Rastrelli going the long way around, able to shut the door from the outside and get into second. So a little rematch here. Lindquist against Rastrelli again, but now for second instead of third. Wienen continues to roll away the 8-time champion. Bryce Ford, bad start, moving forward. I think that was Bryce who was off the track and onto the car track, the pavement early. So this is impressive for him to come all the way through here for fourth. And look, he is starting to close on that battle for the number 2 spot. And now the rain starting to come down on Wienen and the rest of this field here in the last lap of this heat race. So a lot of different stories to tell here. Lindquist, by the way, missed a lot of off-season time with injury. So this is a nice bounce back for him. Again, only a heat race, but he's got to feel good about it. Wienen gonna bring it home. There is the checkered flag, and the rain starting to come down as Lindquist holds off Rastrelli, Ford, and there is Zach Decker. The rookie is into the main as we get ready for heat race number 2. And now the rain coming down huge, and a huge hole shot for Joel Hetrick, the Phoenix Racing Yamaha. And every time I think you're going to see someone out there, I guess they don't actually hit the tarmac, they're just on the mud on the side of the racetrack. Might be better to go onto the tarmac. Brandon Hogue into the number 2 spot. Nick Janusa is third. And that was the Italian. Patrick Torini got punted over a berm on his number 51. That's going to set him back. That's Michael Allred there, the number 8, coming through next as Hetrick tries to get away. Now, Wienen was relatively clean with that hole shot, the majority of his heat, but there is definitely some mud collecting even on the race leader's machine this time around with this rain coming down. And remember, this track has already taken a lot of rain throughout this weekend and really the last day. So this place is chewed up already. And this rain isn't going to help. So we're going to have a mud race, I think. I don't know if they can salvage this. They've already dug down quite a bit, trying to salvage it for the heats. This main is going to be wild. If you're Hetrick, you had so much bad luck at Daytona before, you've got to be wondering if the rain is going to be this year's gremlin. There's Allred and Logan Stanfield trying to close the gap. So you go back to Hetrick. Pretty distinctive look. The Phoenix Racing team has said they're going to have a different look on that ATV pretty much every round of the series. So that'll be interesting to watch. As we watch this battle in the mud, Stanfield continuing to close on Allred. Here is the white flag, almost like a mercy rule for this field. And this is officially, I'm going to say, is bad now. Hetrick really churning it up. Vince Merman, he's the one that actually ran into Torini at the beginning of this race. Bringing it home. Joel Hetrick has a heat race win. So far, so good here at Daytona. No changes behind him. Hogue, Janusa, Allred, Stanfield. Let's talk to Chad Wienen.
Yeah, it was quite nice being the first heat race, just because the skies opened up and we got quite a bit of rain. Only a couple laps to go, it started to really pick up, and I finished my race, and machine was still like in good shape and not too wet, so we got back, and I seen the second moto was out there. It was kind of a downpour. The guys can take it as they got to ride in those conditions before we hit the track again, but I think I felt better of keeping a dry machine and being able to prep for our main here coming up.
ATV Motocross on MAV TV is brought to you by RP Race Performance, by Rocky Mountain ATV MC, and by CST Tires. We'll be back with our main after this. As the rain continues to fall here at Daytona International Speedway, let's focus on some other classes here. A little bit of sunshine peeking out for a muddy pro sport race. This is one division below our pro class. You can see just how bad the track is now. I'm not even going to guess the rider names and numbers when they're in this condition. Agostino Abatiello won the first race here in the pro sport class. That was on the number 100. Big pile up here, pulling some muddy and much heavier quads apart. Brett Musick would take the win in the pro sport class for Blair Miller and Chase Seeley. We'll go to WMX here in a second. That is our women's class. We had a first turn crash, luckily okay. Shelby Cabrando. Watch her here in the 55, the red right here in the middle. Comes in hot. She was all right. Shout out to Andrea Berger, who takes the women's class win. That's WMX. Check in with Bryce Ford, hot up-and-coming star of the series.
What's up, everybody? It's Bryce Ford. We're here at Daytona. I just got done with Heat 1. I had a good start. Blew off the first turn, which it was a little slick because the mud earlier this morning. Just really excited to get to the mains. The weather looks good. We're going to get a good start and then go from there, and hopefully we can get on the podium. So I'm holding the wakeboard this year. That would be super cool. And I'm super excited to get out at Daytona with a good overall finish and then head into my home track, Texas, and just really going to train for that one and just be mentally and physically ready.
Well, let me tell you, it's hard to be mentally and physically ready when the track is this sloppy. Got to bring out the big mud tires and the mud boots as well. But points are paid in motocross, rain or shine. So let's go from Daytona. Brandon Hogue pitching it in there like an old TT race, grabbing that very important hole shot. And Chad Wienen has a problem. He's off the racetrack. That's Cody Ford slamming into him. Cody probably wondering, where did Wienen even come from? And that's the type of stuff we usually don't see from the 8-time champion. This would be a tough track to come from about last under normal circumstances, let alone when you're catching all this mud, and he is in 14th place. Meanwhile, Brandon Hogue, the chance of a lifetime, trying to bring home the Daytona win, but pressure being applied already by Joel Hetrick. Although you wonder, how aggressive will Hetrick be? He has been luckless at this race. Wow, Bryce Ford getting kicked sideways there from third, and that's an example of how quickly this Daytona track can bite you. So Brandon Hogue, who has been through the ups and downs through the years. There have been times where we thought he might have been out of this series, but he is back. He looked great in his heat race, and he looks pretty strong right now. I mean, look, Hetrick is not on the rear grab bar, applying the traditional level of pressure. Hogue is just running the pace. On the Music Racing machine, there's the Phoenix Racing Yamaha in second, but how about Hogue? And the crowd has to be appreciative of this. Wienen is coming through. Did he lose his visor? He is all sorts of cut and torn, but he can't ask questions, and this one is over. He just got to put his head down and get as far forward, collect as many points as he can. There's another move for Wienen. And now Hetrick is closed to the rear tires of Hogue. Going to be a battle for the lead now. And Ford doing his job. He is staying right there in third as Wienen tries to make moves. Now, Wienen, even under the worst circumstances, can usually figure out a way to podium in this class. But he's only in 10th right now. He just made one pass. He's going for two. Torini now, Vince Merman right there. Couldn't quite get him. He's into the top 10. But it is way below par if he's not in the top three. And the chances of catching Hogue, Hetrick, and Ford are remote. Back up front, Hetrick looking for an opening. And they have pulled away. Look at how rough this track is getting. Merman continuing to battle Wienen. Wienen going to try the same line. Found a very rare opportunity. There's Marshall Smith off the track. He ran into equipment problems. I got a little confused there. They're already in the lap traffic. That's your leader, Hogue, in the red and white. And there is Hetrick sticking with him. Lap traffic got to get out of the way for Ford as well. Oh, that's actually his brother Cody. Remember, he was the one that collided with Wienen just moments ago. So his race, not what he wants. He's just going to let these guys go. Oh, no! Big puff of steam out of Hogue's machine. Oh, this will be a heartbreaker. He is leading at Daytona. Wienen is up to 8th, and he stalls it, bumping into the back of Allred. So this is a completely different look than what we're used to in this series. Still trouble there for Ford as he goes a lap down, and the smoke or steam is getting worse for Hogue. Wienen is back on the grab bar of Allred, looking for a way around, and no! A heartbreaker! I'm not sure Okay, at this point, Hogue knows for sure. He's getting blasted by the steam out of that machine as Allred finally yields to Wienen. What are the chances that this Honda's going to go all the way to the checkered flag and even put Hogue on the podium, let alone lead? If you're Hetrick, you got to be careful with how you play this. You don't want to get tangled up if that machine lets go, especially over a jump. That's the scary part of motocross. If that engine locks up at the wrong time, he's going for a ride. Shout out to Zach Decker, the rookie, in 6th, battling it out with a veteran, Janusa, right behind him. Then here comes Wienen. But Wienen's got a lot of ground to make up. This machine is still going for Hogue. A lot of times you can run it till the steam comes out. Then there's nothing left for water and nothing left for cooling. Can he hang on? And he's got to deal with the pressure. Joel Hetrick sensing an opportunity. ATV Motocross on MAV TV is brought to you by RP Race Performance, Rocky Mountain ATV MC, and by CST Tires. No day at the beach here at Daytona. I don't know how Brandon Hogue is doing this. No more steam or smoke out of the machine, but they don't fix themselves. Is he going to be able to bring this home? Here is Hetrick in 2nd. No, now more steam or smoke coming out of Hogue's ATV, and you've got to wonder how long. There it is! It's over! It's over! The dream ride to win at Daytona that would have been his first ever pro win, and it has just gone up in flames. A heartbreaker for Brandon Hogue. That's the best race we've ever seen him turn in. And the fans are saluting this effort. So he gets to leave with the memories. The fans certainly know he had the speed. Not going to get podium hardware. Meanwhile, Wienen has caught the pack in front of him. He's all over Nick Janusa, who is all over Decker. Decker, by the way, his facility down here in Florida, that's where a lot of the riders do their off-season training. They're used to rough conditions like this, but with the rain, it has gotten even rougher. And look at the tale of 2 races. Hetrick sails by while Hogue has to get his downed machine off of the track. Just an absolute bummer for Hogue, who was putting in the ride of his life. Wienen still putting pressure on Janusa. There's his line. Janusa's too quick, too smart for that. Won't let him by. Decker's in 5th. You've got to figure Wienen at least wants to be there. Everyone made up 1 spot, of course, with Hogue's machine letting go. And Janusa just keeping that vehicle wide. There's the opportunity, and he seizes it. I did not think Janusa was going to give him enough room. He didn't. Wienen just somehow squeezed in with barely an opening. Meanwhile, how about this? Last lap, Joel Hetrick. He has had nothing but bad luck at Daytona. I think he's had 1 good race here, if I can recall. He's crashed out time and time again, and the points he loses here at this race have cost him championships. Today, he's looking to leave, and it's his rival who's had the problems, powering his way through on Decker. That's going to salvage 5th on the last lap for Wienen. Janusa trying to take advantage. He rides over Decker, but off the track. And Decker's going to recover for that 6th place spot. We said the battle's going to be between young riders and established stars, and we got it literally on top of each other there. Hetrick is long gone ahead of all that commotion, looking to bring it home. Janusa's not done. He still wants that 6th place finish. With about 3 turns to go. Meanwhile, Joel Hetrick. This time, he found the silver lining with all the dark clouds hanging over Daytona this weekend. Even in the mud, no problems for Hetrick, and he wins Daytona 2022. Oh, that has to feel so good. Probably has no idea what happened to Wienen. Lindquist, shout out. He's going to take 2nd. We didn't really see him much. We were watching that battle for the lead with Hogue. And Rastrelli congratulates Lindquist. He wins that battle for second. Rastrelli on the podium. That's got to feel good for him. Love to see fresh blood taking the trophies here at Daytona. Let's talk to our top three. You know this one's going to stick in the memory banks for a long time when you get to go to Gatorade Victory Lane, just like the NASCAR boys.
We just finished up with a heck of a main event here. I was in second the whole race and just made it happen at the end of the race. The guy in front of me had a mechanical issue, but granted that, I felt really good the whole day, and it just feels unreal to be up here after what happened last year. I just had a monkey on my back at this race, and it's just it's an unreal feeling right now to start out finally where I felt like I deserved to be. So I really can't thank the team enough. Phoenix Crews just got this bike dialed. My mechanic Gary, Dean, Impact Solutions with the shocks. This bike was just working phenomenal today, and it's surreal right now because I just haven't had very good luck here. So I appreciate everyone's support, and hopefully we can keep this train rolling.
No better feeling, man. It was a really tough day. Waking up this morning, going out there and track walk, and it was underwater. So it was going to be an interesting day. We knew that, and it's been great. And it feels good to get up here on my own program and on my own terms, and doing it myself with a good support group. So can't thank these guys enough, and the support group that showed up here today, and thanks to all the fans and everybody as well. So thank you guys, and we'll see you at Texas.
Man, sitting here at Daytona, second place overall, just a killer day. Coming off a really short off season, this is unreal. I mean, to come out, good start, and just ride my laps, like, I couldn't imagine this day to go any better. We can't thank all the sponsors enough. Like, what a way to start 2022. Let's go.
That's right, let's go. This CST race recap. Whole shot, more important maybe today than in any race ever in the mud and a tight track. Weenan gets a bad start off the track, collides with Ford. He's in last, Hoag's in the lead, being stalked by Joel Hetrick. So we watch the comeback of Weenan from about 15th place while getting blasted with mud. And boy, did he make moves. He'd eventually get up to 5th, but 5th is about as low a result you can ever see from your champion. And then there it is. You can see the engine problems starting to develop for Hoag. He rode awesome. Did not yield to Hetrick until it finally lets go. And the crowd let out a roar. No more engine noise, but he could hear the cheers. They saluted that ride. There is Joel Hetrick taking a win at Daytona in a race where he's had so much heartbreak in the past. Late pass by Weenan. Got him up to 5th. Oh, responding to the crowd too is Hoag. Got to respect that. This is the last lap battle between Decker and Janusa. Look at that. Wide open riding over Decker is Janusa. Couldn't make the move though. And here's Hetrick bringing it home and enjoying a big points lead to start the season. That is a sentence we don't get to say very often. But that's what Daytona is all about, the thrill of victory and the heartbreak of defeat. We'll have racing in this series on MAV TV all year long. For everyone at Racer TV, I'm Jason Weigat.